La lettre R. So R, everybody can really do it. You don't have to go R, right? It's very rare, right? La couleur rouge, right? You don't have to do the rouge.
Mhm.
Just use the R, a single R. So we have it in English. It's just usually spelled with a T or a D.
Mhm.
So it's the T in a word such as bitter.
Mhm.
Bitter. It's a bitter pill, right? Bitter. Right? Roux. Roux. La parole roux. Right? The word roux in French, roux.
Yep. So we don't do back of the throat.
No.
We don't have frogs in our throat in Louisiana.
No.
We just kind of tap behind our teeth.
Yep.
It's like a tap. Now, I heard a old lady. She was probably close to 80,
mm-hmm.
and she got excited about something, and she used that R. Mm-hmm. She rolled that R for like half a second. She found out I was from Baton Rouge.
Baton Rouge.
She was like, "You from Baton Rouge? And you speak French?" She was excited. Rouge.
Yep. You'll hear that.
Mm-hmm.
But some people can't even make it, so they won't do that. But some people will mash the garantie.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Clélie. Clélie a coupé les saucisses et les oignons. Fémi a nettoyé la poule. Nénane Zout a cuit le riz. Mais celle ou celui qui a fait le roux, c'est lui ou elle qui a fait le gombocha. All right. Clélie cut the sausage and the onions. Fémi cleaned the chicken. Elle a nettoyé la poule.
That's an important word for our families, because you got to tell your kids nettoyer.
Nettoyer. Nettoyer la chambre. Or you can say propreté. That means the clean.
Right.
Because what's like to pick up.
Once it's clean, it's propre.
It's propre. Yes. Yeah, so va donc propreter ta chambre.
Mm-hmm.
Go clean your room.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Nénane Zout, she cooked the rice. C'est elle qui a cuit le riz. Ça prend pas un qui pour faire ça. Donc. Ça prend pas un avocat pour faire cuire du riz. It don't take no lawyer to cook rice.
No.
But celle ou celui, so the one, feminine and masculine, I would say, mais cette-là ou celui-là qui a fait le roux, the one that made the roux, c'est lui ou elle, it's him or her, qui a fait le gombo. That's the one that made the gumbo. Whoever makes the roux, you can cut all the onions you want, all the sausage, you clean the pool, the chicken. But if you make the roux, you make the gumbo.
That's true. Very true. Of course, today, a lot of people, there's one person that's going to make the gumbo. They don't want no help.
And that's true.
Except you might be able to chop up their vegetables, and you might be able to cook the rice.
Some of them enlist a lot of help, and they enlist the whole factory to put some roux into a jar for them. Too, some people.
Yeah.
I
can't talk bad about it, because it's a lot of the Cajun families that do that have been doing it for years, but I don't know. It don't sit right with me to do it myself. No. Like, I have to stir the pot.
Oui. Ma défunte grand-mère, elle se faisait du roux, mais dans des gros batchs. Et là, elle serrait ça dans des jars.
Right.
Dans la glacière ou dans le freeze. Et elle tenait ça là-dedans pour des mois de temps. Tu connais, ça se fait. She did the same thing.
Right.
And a lot of people do that, especially where jarred roux really
So what Colby said is his grandmother would make a big batch, and he would put it in a jar.
Yeah.
And then freeze it?
Yeah, put it in the freezer, and or if you jar it, it's jarred.
Right.
That was pretty common, mostly, Southwest Louisiana, further north in the prairies, which is where all this jarred roux started from.
Right.
It literally started from there, but commercially available carries and all that stuff in Ville Platte.
So there was a older lady. She was kind of like one of my aunts. We weren't really related. She was kind of one of my aunts. She did that, and she grew up in Baton Rouge.
Okay.
That was just how her family. Her name was Arlene. So she definitely had some kind of French in there. And it went way back. She told me that's just how they always did it. Yeah. They would make it and they would save it. So she would make her roux like once every 6 months maybe.
Yeah.
Because she made a lot of things with it.
Yeah.
She would make a big old pot just roux.
Oh yeah. And nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
You don't keep chickens for your eggs. I mean, people do.
Right.
But There's nothing wrong with buying eggs.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with buying meat from the store. There's nothing wrong with buying root from the store.
As long as it comes from a real Cajun factory, a real Cajun family.
Oh, yeah.
And it don't say skinny roux on the jar, because that ain't roux.
C'est pas du roux, ça. Moi, je me fais un roux avec la farine de pâte de poule. Parce que la belle, my girlfriend has celiac, so I make roux with chickpea flour.
Chickpea flour, okay.
And you put it in there, the second it touches that oil or that lard, it just smells the popcorn right away.
Oh, I bet.
So you got to cook it a little while longer, but you can make it work.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
You should try making roux with some flour from France. So all of my babies will break out with U.S. flour. If they eat like a goldfish, my 18-month-old, she get hives all over her body. She'll bleed in her diaper. It's horrible. But we found out it's just something to do with U.S. flour. If you buy, like on Amazon, they sell Francine de Blé. Okay, it comes over here from France. We started cooking with it, making bread. She'll eat bread and gumbo and stuff with that flour in it all day long, and it doesn't bother her.
I like that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It saved us from having to make 2 dishes.
Yeah.
You know? The flour is probably 3 times as expensive as just like Walmart brand flour, but it's cheaper than chickpea flour.
Yeah.
And it's cheaper than the gluten-free flour.
Yeah.
And it's real flour. It tastes exactly the same.
Yep.
So,
oh, yeah.
Kind of interesting.
All right. Already, you can tell from the leaves. La lettre S.
Mm-hmm.
S. Nothing going on there except that it's where your T and D are, but it doesn't make that much of a difference in the sound. S is variable between people. You can do a lot of things with your tongue to make it come out like a hiss.
Mm-hmm.
So if you go from person to person, it'll be anywhere in that spectrum. So you don't have to worry about S at all. S comme sacalé et sassafras. All right, this is one that the spelling is usually kept as it is in standard French, even though the only real Louisiana pronunciation isn't reflected in the spelling. Sassafras, we'll say in English. In French, it's du sassafras. Sassafras. Yep.
Which is filet.
Yep, that's where you get the filet. They used to make the root beer with the root. Toute qualité d'affaires. Right, sassafras and then sacalé. Right, that's one where it's spelled. What's that look like to you? You know what that is, a sacalé? How you say that in English?
I just saw what it was called.
I don't know either. It's some sort of blue, I don't know. But what's that look like to you, sacalé?
Bag of milk.
Bag of milk.
Because it's the ones that have like the white bellies.
Yeah. And then it fits, and people spell it like that. But there's a Choctaw word, sacalé, meaning flatfish. So it's become, people are like, it's white. They're like, oh, we got to spell it milk sack.
Right, sacalé.
Yeah, sacalé.
And then I think what I learned was the patasa is the one without the white belly. But it's the same looking fish. Maybe I'm wrong.
Je connais pas. I know that the bustling metropolis of Patasa, right outside of the even larger global city of Eunice, Louisiana. In French, in English, we call it Perchville.
Okay.
It's a little community called Patasa.
Patasa is Perchville.
Perchville, they say. So Perch, Patasa.
So maybe all sacalé are Patasa, but not all Patasa are sacalé.
Je suis pas proche un pêcheur. Je suis pas un pêcheur ni un moyen ni l'autre. Not a pêcheur means fisherman or a sinner.
Okay.
Pêcheur is pronounced the same. It's like péché means to sin or to fish.
Sin or to fish.
Sin or to fish.
I wonder if there's a relation because people were skipping church.
And that's where they were
fishing.
That's where it was going. Actually, faire la pêche means literally to fish, but it's a common way to say you take a nap.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
That's really what you up to.
Huh.
I don't know. I've never been much of a fisherman, but it usually puts me to sleep. Especially, this guy ain't going to sleep anytime soon. He got some.
He's raking them in. He's wide awake. Look at his eyes.
He's watching out for game wars. That's what he's doing. Look at that Paul. Oh yeah, ça c'est vrai ça. All right, let's read a little bit about non carconge. Right, he said they didn't have them laws when I was young. That's what he said. Donc, 15 limit. Notre archange attrape toujours plein de sacs à lait chaque fois. Oui, chaque fois qu'il va à la pêche. Sous le sassafras au bord du bayou Teche. Right? Notre archange, that's the name needs to be brought back.
Archange.
Archange. They had some old
have to name somebody in the class. You got to name your kid Archange.
They get bonus point.
Heck yeah.
Archange, Arcade, Théophile. All them old.
That's some old names.
That's some old name, but Notre archange always catches a lot of sac à lait. That's one for a lot. Usually in Southwest Louisiana, we'll say beaucoup or un tas. Like je parle pas un tas. I don't talk a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Other side of the basin, and I guess a little bit in Vermilion Parish, they'll say plein.
Plein?
Je parle pas plein en français. I don't speak much French. Plein elsewhere it just means full.
Right.
Right, but a lot of people use it as in like plenty.
Right.
We got plenty. On est not plein.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Because you're full. Because you got plenty.
It's the same. C'est la même affaire. But he always catches plenty sac à lait, a lot of sac à lait, every time. Literally each time.
Chaque fois.
Yep, chaque fois. Each time. Yes. Each time. Every time that he goes fishing. Underneath, all right, su is on, sous is under. I guess that's a good time to talk a little bit about, well, we'll talk about it when we get to the letter U. But there's two sounds that sound like ooh to the English ear, but they're different in French.
Right.
And obviously, real difference here. You make one sound, you mean on. You make another sound, you mean under.
Right.
Right. Sous is under. That's that ooh, that OU we talked about when we looked at the letter O. The other one is U. That's the letter U by itself. And that su means on.
Right.
Su, sous.
Mm-hmm.
Au-dessus, above. Au-dessous, underneath.
Right. That's why we got to think sous vide.
Yeah.
They cook the food under the water. Sous.
Yeah. I didn't know what that was.
Yeah, it's like restaurants use it a lot. It's a method where you have it's like submerged in water. There's a certain temperature. And
I was like, I know what you're saying, but
it's in hot water that keeps it at an exact temperature.
But it's not in the water. It's
in a plastic package submerged in water, and they call the method sous vide.
Oh, well, that's why you boil your meat instead of cooking it. 800 degrees. It keeps the temperature.
It's like a reliable thing for a restaurant primarily, but it makes a really soft steak too.
Sous vide. Under the sassafras, under the sassafras tree. Sassafras. I forgot. I don't know how I said it just there. But along the bayou Teche. Alright? Remarque les différentes formes de feuilles du sassafras. Alright, so you'll have three-lobed sassafras leaves, you'll have two-lobed ones, you'll have single ones, and like you said, that's how you make the filet.
Mm-hmm.
Un petite poudre tu fais avec les feuilles moulinées. You crush out the leaves, dry them.
How do you say crush? Mâcher?
Mâcher? Yeah.
Mâcher les feuilles?
Yeah, like to mash, or écraser.
Écraser?
Écraser or moud, to mill. Mouliner, like when you grind rather, like if you grind coffee, it's mouliner. Mouliner or moud or moulé. That'll work. Some with the word from mill kind of in there, which is moulin. But different forms of the leaf of the sassafras. My grandma would always make her own sassafras.
They say it's stronger when you dry the leaves out, and but it's not like in a jar. It's kind of fresh.
Dusty Fuquet, up in well, I think he's from Laval, but he works in Natchitoches Parish. That's his thing. He learned with some old Natchitoches Creoles.
Oh wow!
From up there, the art of gathering. You take the stems out, you dry it, you crush it. Not even that fresh. Months later, it just smells straight citrus.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's not what you buy in the blue plastic containers. So I can tell just from the color that there's stems in it. There's
right.
It's not the pure green leaf part. The old people take the stems out, hand picked, hand done.
That's pretty cool.
Fait à la main, done by hand. La lettre T. La lettre T, right? Letter T in English, in French, T, right? And goûter means tea, right? Like, it works both ways. Letter T and then the drink tea is both T.
Toc toc.
Du toc toc. Yep, toc toc. Popcorn,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's the word. There's no word for corn going on. And the word for popcorn in French is toc toc.
Mm-hmm.
Elle parle si vite, ça fleurit comme du toc toc. She talks so fast. Vite means fast. It's like some popcorn popping. In English, you pop the popcorn. In French, the popcorn flowers.
Oh,
wow.
OK. Ça fleurit.
Ça fleurit. Il y a une vieille farce je vais peut-être traduire ça par après, mais je vais raconter l'affaire en français en premier. Il y avait une fois, ça faisait chaud, c'était au milieu de l'été, dans le mois d'août, et le monde était prêt. Tu venais travailler dans le clos avec des chevaux et tout ça, mais ça faisait assez chaud que le toc-toc dessus les pieds, dessus le pied de maillet même, le toc-toc a commencé à fleurir. Et il y avait un cheval qui était exceptionnellement bête. Il a vu le toc-toc après fleurir et il croyait que c'était de la neige. Ça se fait, il a gelé, il est mort.
Okay.
There was a horse. It was so hot one summer, the popcorn, because you grow it, it's a variety of corn, started flowering, started popping on the. It's a joke.
Yeah.
It started popping on the cob, on the coton maïs, on the épi. And then there was a horse. One of the horses saw that, and the popcorn, thought it was snow, so he froze to death.
Okay, I thought that's what you said, but I was like,
that can't be right.
There's no way
right.
I'm understanding this right.
Il a gelé et il est mort. Oh, cheval. Elle parle si vite, ça fleurit comme du toc-toc. They're taking cover. That's Miss Amanda.
She's talking so fast.
It's like popcorn.
It's like popcorn. I got some friends that talk like that.
What?
Sometimes you talk like that.
C'est un cadeau. Oh,
when you first started on KRVS?
Non, ça c'était parce que j'ai pratiqué des
juste comme toc-toc.
Du toc-toc. I've practiced since.
I liked it. That was like, hey, yeah, that's what I'm talking about.